Hello, hello, hello. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stamping Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Teach card making and scrapbooking and love sharing my passion with you. Tonight, this is just one of the cards that I'm going to be showing you. I've got three pop-up window cards, all done slightly different using different products so that you can see what you have in your stash that could be used for these cards. Now I'm going to turn you around so you can see me. Hi. Oh, it's been one of those weeks where, and you'll see by my hands, I had a bit of an accident, so my hands are a little injured, but nothing that's going to stop me card making tonight. I'm just going to pull up the comments. Hi Glenda, how are you? Now, each of the products that I feature tonight are available from my online store. I will add the link afterwards, but it's at Anne Lewis, all one word, .stampingup.net. But you'll see it on my Facebook page and you'll see it in the link later, and you can see it down the bottom on my banner. By supporting my online store, you actually support me do these videos. So I'm always extraordinarily thankful for all your support. Now, as I mentioned just before, and I'm just going to come back to my desk, so I'll throw you back down. You've at least seen that I'm alive. I'm going to be using a few different products, a few different ways of doing this, and a few different techniques, because you can't, it's not just about products, it's about learning new things. Hi Wendy, how are you? What else? So you'll be able to use what you actually have in your stash to make these cards, and they are actually they're easy, and you can make them as stepped up or as simple as you like. And the first card I'm doing tonight is a really simple one, as you will see. The mechanism, you'll get to see how simple that actually is. And then I step them up as the cards go on. I'm going to put that one aside. Now, don't forget, if you enjoy these projects, to subscribe to my YouTube channel or like my Facebook page so that you'll keep up to date with all my news and all these fabulous projects that I showcase. Now, I'm just going to, I like pop-up cards. You do know that. I've done a few this year. I just had to stand up. So, this time I'm going to be making a pop-up card. Well, actually, I'll show you what a pop-up window card is. I'll bring this back so you will see this is the window, and it pops out. Well, this is the window, I suppose, and this pops through. So many different ways that you can do this. I've actually used a stamp that I showcased last week, actually, because I really love it. The Winterly Tree Tops, and I also use embossing folder, but I'll walk that through in a second. So what I wanted to showcase, because everybody's really liking these, and I've got to say, this today is free shipping for Stampin' Up, so it's the perfect way to save some money. And all you have to do is spend over $65. So it's not like the amount is high. It is, pretty reasonable. So I'm going to be using these cards. I'm going to show you them in the catalogue. I showed you last week, which you might have missed, and the envelopes. Now, the card bases actually come either in portrait, so this one's a portrait one, or in, wait a minute, where's my card bases? Or in landscape. So I've picked portrait because it actually suits my card. And I'm going to be using pre-printed die cuts to make this process really quickly. As I said, this is the easy one, and it is quite easy. So This is on page 14 and 15 of the new mini catalogue. So that's what the catalogue looks like. Oh no, I'm wrong. 16 and 17. Well, it's kind of on 14, 15 as well. And so I'm just going, I picked some random images. Just going to show you, you get to pick your own images. But the way to make them pop a little bit is to actually layer them. And there's no really special way. You just pick some images that actually suit you. And there's a whole lot of samples here to give you some ideas. I didn't use any of those ideas for my card, but I also used, now there's sentiments on here. So there's some some printed die cut sentiments, which makes this really quick and easy. So I want to show you, this is the perfect card to show you how to get started. So I've already, remember how this card base was solid. So I then I just used whatever I had. So I've used 3 different dies for each of my cards. So you get an idea what in your stash you might be able to use if you've got some dies. Now this is one of those cards, pop-up window card is one of those you will need some dies for. So all I did, I can't even remember. So I die cut that out. I'm not going to do any die cutting tonight. And then, oh, I've got another piece here. I left behind. And then that die cut that piece out there. Then I ran it through. Now I could have done it in one step, but I just didn't feel, my plates are a little crooked, a little bent from a lot of use. So I put it through a second time. So then I cut out a smaller window. So as you can see, it is smaller than the original die cut. I'll throw these back. Now these are the deckled. I'll just show you. It makes it easier. Deckled rectangles. And they're available online. And I think they're online exclusives now. They could be in the catalogue, in the annual catalogue. I can't remember. I should look that up. I'm grabbing some real red ink and also a stamp from my favourite sentiment stamp set, which you're seeing all the time, the Peaceful Season. Can't recommend this stamp set enough. If you're looking for one with sentiments, this is the perfect one this year. Probably the best sentiment stamp we actually have. So now let's make this pop up. Now, before I do any pop-up, I'm going to stamp a sentiment on the inside. Now, I do want to give you some secrets. And how do I know the secrets? Because I didn't do them. So as you see, and I know it's a little hard to see, but I didn't stamp my sentiment on the inside high enough. I thought I did. So this time I'm going to be super careful, especially as this is a far bigger window than the original one. So I'm going to stamp it down here and make sure that it's lower. Oh, I don't. So the sentiment I'm using is, and you'll understand the why in a second when I do the front. I could have done the front actually. Anyway, we'll do this. Is a season of wonder and happiness. It's a very generic one. It works. I've got a little bit of ink on my finger somewhere. There. Right. So, and I've still got a little bit of ink on my fingers. Wait a minute. Just get a little rag, clean it off. And we're going to just put this down here, but make sure it's below that window. Right up. Close this back up. Bring back my window piece. And these are those images from the mix and match, what are they called? Ephemera packs. I think, oh, Joyful Images. And they've already sold out once, and they've just come back into stock. Came back on Monday. So I'm just going to layer this. There is no right or wrong way. And I don't want to pop it up too much, but I will do a little pop up. So I'm hoping that you can see that. I'm going to grab some adhesive. I'm not going to pop up everything, otherwise when I throw it in the mail, or gently throw it in the mail, it's not going to go through. Unfortunately, our mail is machine sorted mostly, and it doesn't like it if I pop things up lots. Now you're going to see how easy this is. I'm not, to be honest, I am not going to spend a lot of, I should have put that tree over here. Darn, but I didn't. And that's just how things happen, so I'll have to work around it. I don't want any images hanging over because I don't want it to catch my window. It can hang over just a smidgen, but only a smidgen. Then I've got this little piece here, and I've got a sentiment, "'Tis the season," that I'll I feel like I should put something down there. Let's add this with this dimensional. Now remember, this is what I would call a starter card. So you don't have to do too much stamping. You saw the one little bit of stamping that I did. Now don't worry about the size of these images. I've got this. Worry more just that they layer and the colours match, because there's kind of a blue story in these images and there's a red and green story. Now, where's my little sentiment? I want to put something down there, and I've picked green, and I really, really want red now. So let's go to my sentiments, just by how I've designed this. So you'll see I pulled a lot of these out. Right. So here are my sentiments. This is too big, but I like it. And my Merry Christmas is way too big. Let's see if I got a little red one here somewhere. Sending cheer is a little long. Ho, ho, ho isn't the right red. I might have to use the green yet. Happy holidays. No, that's green anyway. So let's see what we've got here. And you'll see how many are here. The gold were just too big for this. There's 2 sheets of everything, of each of these. Right out. So I'm going to have to keep to the green. And that's okay. Still going to look good. I'm just trying to. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to keep it. I need to pop it up just a little bit. So let's use some of my mini dimensionals. And then you'll see how easy this pop-up mechanism is. Now I've been doing lately, showcasing with you, pop-ups on the inside of the card. Now whilst this kind of is on the inside, you're going to see it from the front. So let's, and you'll see this is going to be done in just a couple of minutes. So, and there's so many sentiments. Now I've got this bow and I'm just going to put it aside. Now let's show you how to do the mechanism. So I've got my strip of basic white cardstock. I'm not using the thick one. Now on my cards, on my other cards, this is a card base that is how it comes. I use thick basic white cardstock. Now all I'm going to do, I'm going to turn this around, is I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. Oh, let's show you what I'm doing. 1/2 inch, 1 inch. I think I got this. I had to experiment a little bit with this to get a mechanism similar to that one I used inside the card. Hi Marianne, how are you? I think you'll like this one, and I think you've got some dies that would be good for this. So I've scored at 1/2 inch, 1 inch and 1.5 inches. I turn it around and do the other end at exactly the same. Feeling a little nervous here. I just keep turning because I do shorts to side up to 1 inch on one side. Okay, here we go. And I'll show you what this looks like. But I need to do 2 of these because this sheet is quite large. One in the center just won't work. So I'm hoping you will see, and I'll show you what I'm doing. So it looks like that. And then, so the first one folds back, in, back, and then you're going to get your bone folder. And you're going to do that twice because I want 2 of these. Somehow I got that a little crooked. I can fix that up. You don't ever get to see this, but I do. Right. So there's one. I've got to do another one. Another one cut, another 4 inches. So I'll just bring this forward so you can see it. Hi Pat, how are you? So I'm scoring at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and then spinning it around 180 degrees and doing exactly the same on the other end. As I said, I just work right on the small measurements because it's a little easier. And then when I get to 1.5 inches, it's easier to spin it around. Like that. So again, start in the middle, fold them back. That's the easiest way. You can't get it wrong. And then just make mountains. I'll show you what that looks like. It's kind of like a little Christmas tree. So this is the part you're gluing, but you're also gluing this. But we're going to glue this onto the back of here to show you really simple. So now there's no great art to this. I'm just putting one at the top, one at the bottom to support it so it doesn't collapse on me. Doesn't have to be even. I'm just eyeing it off. And then let's get rid of this frame, which I actually use on another project. So this is what I'm left with. So this is stuck here. Then I'm going to glue these. And then, whoops, not like that. I'm not putting it on. And then I'm going to glue these down. Now, turn it over. Now, this is the one, probably the one thing you've got to be a little careful of because you want to place it in the center. Now, whilst that dries, I want to be able, I've got a block here, I do. Let's just put a block on that to make sure it's still nice and straight. and I'll show you what that looks like when it dries. If I pop it up now, it'll look a bit funny. It won't have dried and it'll shift. Right, so there's card 1, and you can see it a little through the block, but I'll show you how it actually works once. Give that a couple of minutes to dry. That multi-purpose glue does not take long. Now, card number 2 is another easy one. This time I have die cut. This is a card base I've made. So it is 8 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And I have used the countryside corners only because I have them. And they gave these really interesting shapes. So the ones I used, I think this one, well, that's the inside one. So that's the outside one. And then out of the piece that I cut out, right, that piece there, I then cut this piece out using one size down. So our nested dies are what you need for this. Anything that's a nested die, we have lots of options. We have a lot of options that we've had that have retired. So you've got lots of choices for this. So let's go. Oh, wait a minute. I think this is probably dry by now. And I've got this little bow that I'm just going to pop up there. Now, to put this in an envelope, that's going to squish down. But when you pull it out of the envelope, it's going to pop up. So I'm going to pop this up. Where's my dimensionals? As always, oh, here they are. As always, they hide on me. I don't know. Oh, here it is. Here are these. I'm just taking my take a pick tool and double check where this is going to sit. So it was just to add a little bit of thing, but I don't want it to get in the way of this window pop-up, so I can't overlap this at all. Oh. Nearly forgot this. Now, you don't have to do this. I just wanted something to pull that outside of the frame into. And remember, I've got matching envelopes. So, yeah. So there we go. And there you can see, wait a minute. Hopefully you can see how much that pops up. And when I open it up, there we go. So this stays on the inside, which gives it a bit of, just makes it fancy. So I'll put that one aside. And let's get to my second one. So I've got the card base here. Just going to, I want this, I've already cut out the window, but this time I'm just going to make it a tree stamp using the Peaceful Evergreens, which is part of this overall suite. So you can see this one, basically the sentiments will match this, but I'm going to be, whilst I promise Christmas cards, I need thank you cards. So you can make this a Christmas card as simple as. Now, a few things. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to be using 2 colours. I'm going to be using grey granite and shaded spruce. Now, I don't have a card to show you, so it's going to be a bit of a surprise. And I've got just some masking tape. Now, we have masking tape that looks like, where is my masking tape? Here, somewhere. Masking tape, which will work just the same. This was just a bit easier to cut. And I've cut it lengthways, just under a 1/2 inch. So just under a centimetre works just as well. And I'm going to put a little mask across here. Just want to get it nice and straight. That's why I have grid paper. So I'm going to pull this down just a bit so I can see actually what I'm doing. Line up my grid. Except that's not exactly where I want it. So I want to get it straight on my grid. It is important that we get this. Oh, there we go. Now, righto. So this will just mask what I'm stamping. You'll see how quick and easy this is. You could do this in whatever colours you want. As I said, I picked shaded spruce because it was nice and bright. What you do need is not too lighter colours, or otherwise this effect that I'm about to do is not going to work. So I want it nicely inked up. This provides so much texture, and you'll see it actually in the stamp set. So it's a very textured stamp. There's no right or wrong on this. Oh, I didn't mean to stamp that up. Oh, we can stamp it up. Just want to stamp that off just a bit. I'm going to fill in the background. I know. So there we go. Now I want to clean this off and change to grey granite, one of my favourite colours because it's a neutral colour and it kind of goes with everything. And basic beige is another one of those colours. Now, this is really good to show you this. I want to show you this. See how that green, I've cleaned it with the stamping scrub, but it's got so much texture on it. Hi, Myrtle. It's got so much texture. I just want to get rid of that for a second. So much texture on it, it's hard to clean. So what I do is spray directly, directly onto the stamp and then onto the stamping scrub so nothing gets wasted. And then it comes up really good. Now I've got a little bit of, so I just clean that off, put this back, and you will now see, that's going to slide on me. A bit damp. This is why you wear navy pants whenever I craft. Okay, so now you see it's lovely and clean. Grab the grey granite, bring back my little, this technique works with so many different designs. So you can use full cards, you can do this for scrapbooking. So I'm stamping it off just a little bit, and then I'm going to put this, and it looks like a little shadow in the back. Now if I run out of ink, I might just do a full one over there, and then so this now has full coverage on it, and I'll show it to you a little closer. Get rid of that for a second. Right, so see how it now looks, and you can see that grey granite shadow just in the background. Right, now the magic of this is I'm going to gently, and depending on what masking tape you use, I'm gently going to peel this off. So I've got a white space there. So it is perfect for my sentiment. Really, really quick way of doing this. And remember I said I wanted thank you cards. So with my shaded spruce, I've got a thank you. Kept it really, really simple. So this thank you comes, I'm hitting all my lights, comes from the Friends for Life. You have seen me use this stamp so often. Comes with dies as well. Pretty sure it comes with dies anyway. So Now I just have to line this up in the middle. This is a great technique because you don't have to die cut anything. You don't have to. So easy. And how nice does that look now? Simple technique. So it's always nice mixing my techniques. So I'm coming back over here. And you can see how my card is going to look. Now, I could have put designer series paper around the outside. I could have, I'm just grabbing a rubber because I wrote myself a note to make sure I didn't forget to mask. Sometimes when you're doing Facebook Lives, your head's thinking in 1,000 different directions. I am getting a bit of ink on my fingers here. I'm going to grab what I always grab, which is some, as I call them, Stampers wipes, which I don't use on my stamps, but I do use on my fingers when they get a bit inky. And again, I've cut these. I could have scored all these beforehand, but I wanted to show you how I did it so that you're really, really familiar with this. Right out. 1/2 inch. As I said, if I was doing all these cards, I would, what I would call, bulk prepare them. So I would have a strip 4x4, cut it into 4 inches, 4x4, and then score it and then cut it down. But I did want to show you each time. Oh, what am I doing? 1.5 inches this time. And again, because of the shape of this, I'm going to need 2. This is why I don't like doing it like this, but you can see it is possible. That's why I turn it around. It's just fiddly to get your fingers in and out of the trimmer. Yeah, so here we go. Again, I've got my 2 pieces, so I'm getting to the center, turning them over, so they're like that, and then belly fold, belly fold, belly, mountain. And if they've gone over a little bit, it doesn't matter. You can trim this back with your scissors. This is not a mechanism you see. So if they're a little overhang here, you can trim them back just a smidgen, and they'll all still work. Right. There we go. So that's not the right one. What happened to the other one that I just did? Really, it's got caught up in something. That's this. I don't know. What did I do with it? I only reached to get scissors. Rightio. I'm just going to put this on one mechanism. Normally I'd do 2, but let's drop this down. And I love this design with these trees. You can't go wrong. You could do the entire, you could go this way across a card, keep that nice little sentiment block there, add a sentiment on top, use those sentiments that I showed you before from the mix and match set. Let's go. It's not, because I want to show you 3 cards, and the other one has a neat technique as well. I don't know what happened to that card that I scored. Should be that one, but it's not. I'll find it on the floor later. So I'll turn this over, just put it in the center. Now I kept these simple so you get the idea. I like the techniques. As I said, the techniques are not tied to this design. So we're slowly stepping this up. I'm going to grab my block again, put that on there just whilst it dries. I just want to make sure I've got that in the centre. Righto. Rightio. So I'm not sure. Glenda, Kiko has kind of been good, but if you look at my hand, you'll know that there was a bit of a accident where I went to grab Kiko and she got a little panicked and I got badly scratched. Rightio. So what do you think of this card? So it pops up. Now, as I said, I could have done shaded spruce card base around that as well if I wanted to, but I kept it simple. And then when I open that up, it's going to look like that. Now, on this one, there may not be enough room to actually put a sentiment, but I can add the sentiment to the back if I like. Rightio. Now, the piece of resistance. I know how important kids are to you. Rightio. So I'm just going to unpack number 3 card. I've got all the ingredients, most of the work done again. I want to show you a couple of techniques. I've got a few things here to show you. Can't find my card. Here's my card. So this is what the card looks like. So we're going to have this piece, which I've already embossed. So I used probably one of my favourite embossing folders. It's a 3D one. As you see, it has a circle, so it was perfect for this shape pop-up window called Dotted Circles, and I think you can see that. So I added that and I die cut it with what I now know to be the most popular bundle in the annual catalogue, Spotlight on Nature. So it comes with, the dies don't actually cut out the stamp set, but I love these. And so I use these and I just pick whatever size I wanted and then off we went. Now, I want to show you, because I did something, it wasn't anything complex, but I want to show you how I coloured the bird. I'll bring this back. I had to stamp it in Stays On because, and you very rarely see me use Stays On because it's a bit of a process to clean it, and you've got to have Stays On cleaner, which looks like this, but it does clean the stamp set. I like Memento Black because it's so easy. But Stays On does give you a really dark image, especially if you've just re-inked it. So my little tip here is I'm going to bring my block here and so as you see, I'm going to change up the colour a little bit. Still going to use Coastal Cabana because it's one of my favourite colours. And I haven't actually trialled this because I used watercolour pencils, but I noticed after that I used Bermuda Bay rather than Coastal Cabana. So I'm just adding a little bit of marking pen. I can use my ink pad if I wanted to, but I just wanted to remind you that you can also, I didn't get any, oops, I didn't want all that. I don't know, this is going to be a very washed out. I forgot to bring, it's way too washed out. Let's have another go at that. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of colour and then do exactly the same colour. This one will be more water washed than the first one. It's still pretty. Doesn't take long, this. Now, I didn't bring any paper towel with me, which is a bit of a nuisance. So we'll clean that off. Then this time I'm going to add some Real Red. Is it Real Red, or did I do Poppy Parade? Poppy Parade. Because I'm going to add the breast in Poppy Parade. Oh, I didn't mean. Now, I watercolour like I blend. Let's not do it fancy. Let's just do it pretty enough. I want a little darker underneath those wings where Stampin' Up has helped me. No. As I said, it would have been nice if I had packed the paper. Then I'm going to just do the, that's what I said, there's so many ways you can use our products, and I wanted to remind us that we can, I don't want to just use our markers, not our blends. Doesn't work with blends, only works with our markers. Doesn't work with alcohol, only works with our water. As I said, our markers or our ink pad. But I've never shown you this, doing it with markers, I don't think. I show you with my ink pad fairly regularly. And I'm just seeing all your comments. Now, Sharon's just reminded everybody that we got free shipping today. Oh, I want to add the little red berries, actually. Should have done that when I had the red out. Oops. So this is a water painter. I want my little red berries a little brighter, but they're not going to be too bright. The water wash doesn't give that really bright. Right. Now I've kept not a lot of water because this is all going to come together live, and I haven't got a lot of time to let it dry. So I'm adding my bird. You can see how easy that was. Now I used watercolor paper, or what I should say is Fluid 100, which is in the annual catalogue. So I'm popping him up. So he's a completely different colour. So I added him a little bit. I added the red to make him a little bit more Christmassy. And I have somewhere in here, I thought, now die cut that little bird out using the winterly leaves. That's so hard to say. Winterly treetops die. So there's a die for that little bird. Now I could have used some of the designer series paper like I did last week and pop it up. So here's my card. Now I could have fixed this before because I knew I had done this. I have put that away. Now when I die cut my window, it shifted a little bit it shifted a little bit. So now it's a little uneven. Now, I know you all worry about this. Now, and I always have a standard card size, and my standard card size, as you know, is 8 1/4 by 5 1/2. Well, this one, I'm not going to waste it. I'm just going to cut it down so it actually, I'm going to clean this up. Wait a minute. Otherwise, it'll get on everything. Get rid of that. So I'm just going to trim this down so it is even. It's not the end of the earth. And I got plenty of room. I think I might just mark it with my pencil where I want it. So about there. So I just want to say that we don't always get things right, but we always know how to fix stuff, how to save it. So don't ever panic if you make a mistake. I know I'm cutting through 2 pieces of thick cardstock, but our trimmer is pretty darn good. Now, look at that. It's even. Now, if you don't like that proportion, I could cut a little bit off the bottom, but let's not get carried away. I know. So that's how it's now going to sit. Now, this, I'm going to add the Christmas sentiment, which is from that Peaceful Season. So this gorgeous stamp set. It's dies that match it. I love the dies, but this, I want to keep it simple. So let's just stamp this. I'm hoping my little, no, I've got to put it down the bottom. I'm hoping my little happy that I've already embossed, heat embossed. I think everyone's realised that it is free shipping today. Everyone's getting their orders in. Now, wait a minute. I want to make sure this is really, really nice and flat. So it'll stamp. Now, I could do that, but I'm going to keep it like this. Want lots of ink on this. I'll line it up. It's a little hard when I can't see it. We'll have a good guess. Oh no! Oh no, I misplaced that. I think we have this right, but we will get this still okay. Oh no. Then I'm going to add my little happy, but I'll pop that. Did I pop that up? Yes, of course I did. Pop it up with some dimensionals. Which are the hardest thing ever to find on my desk. I know, nearly the hardest thing. My take a pick tool is also hard to find. I'll pop this up. Then I've got to find that mechanism that I had before to pop this up so you can see what I'm doing. Wish I could find my take a pick tool. The one, oh, here it is. Under a box. I know. This is why this is so handy. I stamped that up just a little too far. We'll be able to fix this. I'll put that like that. Then we're going to pop this up in here. But before I do that, I want to add the words on the inside. Now remember what happened last time. This is where I've got to make sure it's outside that frame. So again, I'm going to be using my real red. So I've actually mixed real red and poppy parade on this. I'll put this up the top. Then I'll show you again how to do this mechanism. This time I've well and truly. So this says, love from my home to yours, which I really like this. There's also one from our home to yours as well. Okay, so let's show you for the last time. This card, I have to say, I've done it I've dropped this down too far. I would put up the die a little further up. I might. And that would have given me plenty of room. So I should have moved that up a little bit, but I zipped this out so I'd save a little bit of time. I'm looking for my little mechanism. This one will do this little sheet here. And I'll cut it down again to 4 inches by 1 inch. I'll cut this down. That's my little note to remind me to make sure that I mention to you so you don't miss out about free shipping. So now I'm going to score this. Right. I need to move this down a little bit. 1/2 inch, 1 inch. Spin it around, do 1.5 inches. So I've got 3 score lines here. As I said, you've seen this, so you know how easy this is. Oh, I didn't need to turn that around. 1/2 inch. Now, if you're using, which you wouldn't use designer series paper on this mechanism, but if you were using designer series paper, don't forget it's a lot lighter in weight than our cardstock, and it would rip if you're doing it that tight. Right, so we're folding this in, then going valley, mountain, valley, valley, mountain, valley, grabbing your bone folder, adding some glue here, which then sits on the middle of here somewhere. As I said, where this actually sits, I mean, you want it kind of in the centre, but it's not something that's really particular. I love this card, but I should have checked before I quickly zip this up. So then I'm going to glue just these 2 little panels here. Now normally I would have rubbed off the free shipping, but I don't think you're going to see it anyway. So we're going to drop this bird in here. It's going to go right in the centre. I'm going to get my block again. Where's my big block? I've got it sitting here somewhere, over here. So I'm going to add this just to let it dry. Then I'm going to pull my 3 cards out so we can have a look. So I'll do them in the order that I made them. So the first one is using the mix and match, and as you can see, quick card. It hardly took any time, but it's got a bit of wow because of the window that pops out. All right. The next one is using the Peaceful Evergreens, and that just really quick and easy sentiment space there. Great technique for so many other projects. Wait a minute, this will be dry now, and you'll see that this now pops up. So when I open it up, that's what it looks like on the inside. So it's just a really cute design. I like this one better. Oh, I've got those little berries sitting on my desk here. They should have been in the box. Oh, no, I can't find it in the box. They're on my desk somewhere when I pulled them out. And have I got them? They're so cute. They're in the mini catalogue. So I wouldn't really like to show you, but they've walked. Rightio, so they're the cards. So which one do you like? Card 1, card 2, card 3, or which card would you make? That's probably a better one. I mean, these are so good. This is what you can use with your own stash. You don't need to get anything. And this this one works with your own stash as well, because you can put whatever you like in there. So, love the thank you card. So Wendy likes that one. What does everyone else like? 1 and 3. Isn't that interesting? So I like all three, I've got to be honest, but they all serve a different purpose. This one serves quick, easy, with a bit of wow. This one serves, oh, I like that. And I just like that nifty idea. And I think this one's gorgeous, I've got to be honest. And I'm interested that so many people are liking the quick and easy one, which tells us that we don't always have to step things up. So thank you very much. Don't forget, free shipping only has, what time is it? Nearly 8 o'clock. Only has just, well, probably 4 hours to run. So if you've got anything still on your wish list for Christmas, now's the time to get it. And for gifts. I mean, our kits are amazing. And my online store, if you are interested, if there is anything you still want to add, the link to my online store is actually included in the banner here. Thanks everybody for joining us. I've really enjoyed tonight. I love this card. I like the idea of it. I love the mechanism and how easy it is. And you know I like pop-up cards. So I hope you all have a fabulous, fabulous week. No Kiko tonight. She's fast asleep. And I will see you next week with, oh, I know what I'm going to do. Hang an ornament stamp set. I'm going to show us how to, well, a whole lot of different ways that we can use that stamp set to make it pop. I really like it because it comes with some really unique features. Thanks, everybody. Myrtle loves all of them. I love you, Myrtle. Bye for now. Have a great week.